Fire in a hole! Alright. This is my video response to Smoky Goodness Halsey Tribute video contest. And I'm going to be making a recipe that is not exactly Halsey's, but it's similar. And it's called beef stroganoff. And the actual recipe is from the Barbecue Pit Boys. So I'll put a link to Halsey's beef stroganoff, and I'll put a link to the Barbecue Pit Boys beef stroganoff in the description, and you can fight amongst yourselves and see who you like the best. And you might like mine too. So let's get this party started. Stay tuned. Okay, here we go. It's step one. Step one is to get a big old chunk of beef, season it up, coat it with olive oil on both sides, and sear that baby on the grill. You hear it sizzling? We're going to sear it both sides, then we're going to chunk it up, then we're going to get our pot ready to make the beef stroganoff. It's going to be good. Let me get that meat going. And then we're going to cube it up, and I'll show you the rest. Stay tuned. Alright, that meat's getting a nice sear on it. I'm going to sear it on both sides. I'm going to take it off the fire. We're going to put our cast iron pot on and start cooking up the rest of this. We're going to chunk that up and throw it in there. Just want to get a little bit of cook on the other side of that meat, and then we'll put the pot on. So, alright, that steak's been seared on both sides. We've got our pot on the hot fire. We're going to put some olive oil in the pot. Bottom of the pot, I don't know, a couple of tablespoons of olive oil and a half a stick of butter. Get that going in there. Get it melting up good. We're going to clarify some onions and some garlic. And I seem to have misplaced my garlic, so let me go get the garlic. And you stay tuned for the next step. Okay, we're going to add I got a whole onion diced up. I'm going to put that in there. Clarify that up. And got some garlic. I'm going to put quite a bit of garlic in there. I don't know, I guess you could call it for 10 cloves of garlic, but I'm going to put about 4 tablespoons, maybe more, of minced garlic. My spoon's too small to go in the jar, so I'll have to scoop it out with my knife. There we go. Okay. That's enough garlic. Okay. And that smells good already. Okay. Get that going. Let that clarify up a little bit. And then we're going to add some beer, some hot sauce. I got a little bit of salt, pepper, seasoning here. We'll put that in there. Got a little bit of cayenne pepper. Called for a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. So that's how much we're going to put, cayenne pepper. I'm going to put a little bit of hot sauce, a little of the old Crystal hot sauce, just a couple of shakes of that. And some Lee and Perrins Worcestershire sauce. A few squirts of that. I don't know, a couple of good tablespoons full of that. Let that come up. Now we got a secret ingredient. Beer. I'm going to add some beer to that. There we go. Now we got to cut up that meat. Get that meat in there, so stand by. Or stay tuned. Okay, I got my meat cut up. We're going to add that to that pot. Bite-sized chunks of meat. And then we're going to put some, oh boy, there goes one. That's okay. We're going to use that one. Yeah, there goes our meat. And now we're going to add some, I'm going to stir that up. Give that a stir. I'm going to add some beef stock to that. We're going to put quite a bit of beef stock to it because we're going to be cooking our noodles right in that pot along with that meat. That was just a piece of an old box that I had laying around. Here's another piece of an old box I had laying around. It's going to be a total of maybe two boxes of beef broth. Normally, you would just cover the meat with the beef broth, but because we're making this as a one-pot dish, we're going to put quite a bit of fluid in there. I'm going to put another piece of another box in there. If I can get this open. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to put a little bit more beef broth in there. That's going to be a total of 2 of these boxes of beef broth because those other 2 were half full. That was about a half of that one. So what's going to happen now is that's got to simmer for 2 hours. So I'm actually going to move it off of the really hot fire and put the cover on it and let it go for about 2 hours. And I think you can guess where I'm coming to now because I got nothing to do for 2 hours. So I think I'm going to drink me a beer. Stay tuned. It's been about an hour and you know what time it is. It's time for the most important part of my video, which is the Frosty Root Boy mug and a bottle of Hoegaarden's beer is our featured beer of the day that my daughter bought me a 6-pack of for my birthday. I haven't even tasted it yet. And I'm going to give it a taste right now, and that stuff smells amazing, I gotta tell you. It smells great. It's got about another hour to go. But this is the best part of the whole thing for me, where I get to sip on some beer. I don't often get that. That stuff's in there bubbling away. And I forgot to tell you about the mushrooms. I completely forgot. I got some mushrooms in there with the onions earlier when I was sauteing the onion. Put some mushrooms in there. I got to turn that pot a little bit. I don't want it to get too hot on one side. And it's starting to look, oh, it smells excellent. But it needs to go for another hour. Meanwhile, I'm going to try some Hoegaarden's in my Frosty Root Boy mug. Let's see how that is. Oh, that is excellent. Where is that from? Hoegaarden's Meat Blanche Belgian Wheat Ale. Oh yeah, that stuff's great. Okay, thanks Sarah for the Hoegaarden's. And we'll come back to that in about an hour. We're probably going to put the noodles in then. So stay tuned. Alright, it's time to add the noodles. It's getting dark out here. I'm going to be finishing this in the dark if I don't get going. Well, I've got a pound of egg noodles here. I don't know if I want to put the whole pound in. Definitely going to put some in. Let's see. No, almost. Not quite a whole pound of egg noodles. Stir that up. Oh boy, I don't have enough liquid. Alright, let's see what happens. Well, that's got to cook another 30 minutes or so. Until those noodles get done. And our beef stroganoff is coming together, and I hope I can get this done before it gets dark out here. It's almost 8 o'clock now. So let's let that cook a while. Let those noodles get al dente, as they say. Egg noodles. There you go. It's getting incorporated now. Alright. Let's let that cook a while. Add the rest of what we got going. That'll be our beef stroganoff. I hope I have enough light to make one more segment to show you the thickening of this thing, and then I'll take it inside, I guess, for the last shot. So the sun is going down on my beef stroganoff, so I'm going to put some thickener into the broth. A little bit of flour, thickening flour, just to thicken it up a little bit, because I like it, I like it to be thick. I'm going to stir that in, and I'm also going to throw in some creme fraiche. No, not creme fraiche. It's sour cream. Good old sour cream. I'm going to put about 2 cups of that stuff in there. Stir that in good. Thicken it up. Give it some other flavors. Sour cream flavor. Makes that broth look a kind of a brownish color. And that stuff's almost done. It's almost ready to serve. Just has to cook up a little bit more. Thicken up a little bit. And I'm going to stir in that sour cream. Man, does that smell good. I ain't lying. Why would I lie? That smells good. How's that look? Maybe it could be a little thicker, not much. I'm going to just a little bit more flour. This is good flour. This is a good flour to use when you're thickening a sauce. There you go. Okay, yeah, that's looking creamy, right? Does that look good? Yeah, it smells great. That's my beef stroganoff right there. And I'm gonna plate some of that up. Garnish it with some sour cream and parsley. And I'll show you the final results of that when we get back in the house. So that's it, beef stroganoff. Let's zoom in on that. That looks pretty damn good. Okay, apologies to Halsey. That's not the way he made it. And I must mention that this is a Barbecue Pit Boys recipe. They get the credit for this one. I made it, but they conceived of it. So there it is, beef stroganoff. Thanks for watching.